Parasite The Grey. I came across this on Netflix. This is a Netflix series. It's a South Korean episode. It's a South Korean thing. It's only got 6 episodes, and I was intrigued by the trailer that I actually watched on here. And I have to admit, after watching all 6 episodes, it took me 3 days to watch because the simple fact that I work a lot, and so. Uh, but what I do like about the fact is the fact that I can watch something, and then if I get into it, then I know I'm hooked because I did not think that uh, this would grab me like it did. It's basically these parasites that fall to the earth, but where they come from, I do not know. And then they attach themselves to a human host and it eats their brain, and then they become these things that explode out of your head. And the camera imagery and the special effects are spot on in this. But this girl in the beginning of the series, now the first episode is like an hour long because they got to set up the story. But the rest of them are pretty short, 42 minutes and 43 minutes, and the fourth episode is 52 minutes, and then the fifth episode is 48 minutes, and then the last episode is 52 minutes. But this had a good story because I did not think they'd be able to pull this off. Because remember when I watched the previews, I was like, I don't see how they're going to do this because I was like, they ain't going to be able to pull this one off because I didn't think that they could wrap a story around something like this. But what these things do is they take over your body. And every time one of them, they start killing people and they feed on people, what they do is they eat your brain. But when they eat your brain's completely gone, but they take over the body as a human host. And so what they do is once they all start getting bodies, then they become some type of cult. Like they'll get into a religious cult so they can blend in with the wherever they're at. This happened to be over in South Korea. So they all belong to this church. But then when the South Korean officials and the police department found out what was really going on, they had a police task to hunt these things down. But the fight choreography in this was good because for the simple fact that when their heads explode open and all these things come out, I was like, I don't know how you're gonna, but the way they shook their head and the way that they did their body, they sold it. They really sold it. But getting to the point, the girl that was in the beginning of the movie, she got attacked by a guy because she made him mad at the store. So he got mad and followed her home, knocked her off her little moped, and then he started stabbing her. Now I'm watching it and I'm like, he's stabbing her pretty good with this big knife. So there's no way she's gonna survive that because he was putting it in there. So she gets away. She's getting away. She's ready to die, and she collapses in this little field. So he's up there yelling, it's like, I'm gonna kill you, and he's still wanting to go and finish her off. Well, she collapses and she's bleeding out. So this parasite drops. This parasite thinks it's gonna go in there and take over her body. But what happened was when it went inside her body was dying. So the parasite had to heal her body real fast in order for it to survive in this body. So when it healed the body, the human body is 70% human and only 30% is that parasite. So when he was trying to find her, while it was healing her body, it sliced him from the top of his head all the way down to his sternum. And the reason why is because of the fact that the parasite, when it feels like it's being threatened, it's going to come out. But in her case, when she found out that she was a parasite, her parasite would come out the side of her face. The other parasites, their heads would open up and they have all these dangling eyes. So so that's how this is all set up. So then she's like, has this cop friend because she had an abusive dad, and she called this cop, and this cop was kind of like a father figure to her. Well, he kind of found out that she might be a parasite, but then when she was a parasite, she wasn't accepted by the other parasites because they called her a mutant. So now she was trying to convince, and then she ended up befriending this guy who this guy ends up finding out that his sister got killed by one of these parasites, and it really broke his heart. But this guy was in trouble with this Korean gangster or something, so had his issues. So they became friends and bonded together. So it the way that they wrote this story is very good, because it's like, wow, okay. And I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, wow. And it took me 3 days to get through it, because I'm working like 10, 11, 12 hours. I'm working almost 12 hours a day, because you're going to pay me that kind of money, I'm going to take it. But anyway, she and this guy was trying to convince this woman that's over this task force that they're not part of this parasite occult. Because once they take over your body, what they'll do is they'll detach their head, and the person that they already had the body, that body will just drop, and then they'll slice that person's head off, and then that head will the parasite end up turning into the person that they just sliced their head off, because they have to jump from body to body, because they have to stay alive. They don't have no way of reproducing. But anyway, I was very, very impressed with this 6th episode. And what was really cool about this was the fact that it was 6 episodes. It was now 8 episodes. I'm cool with 8. I really am. But if I'm going to watch 8 episodes, it's got to really keep me going. But this one was very good. And it's a Korean series. And so anyway, you guys, God bless. Take care. Check out Parasite The Grey. I think you'll enjoy it. We'll catch you later. We'll see you.